answer the question as to why people aren't going into primary care, it's become not a happy place. And it's because, in my opinion, it's because primary care has been reduced to a hamster wheel of faster and faster diagnosis prescribed, move on to the next person. So it's become kind of assembly line, not very rewarding, not enough time and framework and system design to support relationship and partnering with people, but more and more it's diagnosis, treat, diagnosis, treat, diagnosis, treat, which frankly doesn't work. It's a lousy primary care design. So the fun's been taken out, the speed has been ramped up, it's become this technological assembly line sort of approach. That's very unfulfilling work. In Alaska, the system used to be run by the Indian Health Service, and it transferred to native ownership about 12, 13 years ago. And I had the incredible opportunity to partner with Alaska Native leadership around redesigning their whole healthcare system. And so with transition to customer ownership, local control, we had the chance to do things really, really differently. And the real exciting thing is to be able to take a whole system with a defined population and rethink fundamentally completely how it's designed from the ground up. So everything from what forms you use to how you answer the phone to how you organize and deliver high-end medical care, facility design, the whole 9 yards. We got the chance to take control of the system and rethink, redesign completely how we do work. Our belief is that primary care is not just another specialty in a list of specialties, but rather that it's the underpinning of the entire system. So in our system, we believe that the things most influencing whether you get sick and how sick you are and how well you live with your various illnesses and chronic conditions is something almost entirely determined by the person. So our job becomes getting to know them as an individual in the context of a family in a social environment and get to know their values, their motivators, why do they get up in the morning, what makes them happy and excited. Because if we don't learn those things, we're probably not going to have influence on their choices, their habits, their lifestyle, all of that kind of stuff, which we have to if we're actually going to help support them on their health journey. And then we provide the technical support, advice, medications, treatments, and that sort of thing in support of your priorities and your journey. If that's true, that's a very, very different fundamental understanding than what most modern medicine does, which understands that you come with signs and symptoms, we order a bunch of tests, we get a medical diagnosis so we can put it in the diagnosis form and get paid for it, and then we just get the right pills and right procedures taken care of, and you're going to walk out and somehow health is going to magically happen. We've produced some pretty remarkable outcomes. So over the last 10, 12 years, we've reduced emergency room use by 50%, not 5 or 10%, but 50%. We've dropped hospital days and admissions by over 40%. We've dropped specialty visits by over 60%. Well, every health indicator you want to measure on HEDIS measures, so control of diabetes and asthma and all kinds of congestive heart failure, all kinds of medical conditions, much, much better control. Our HEDIS comparables are running 75th percentile or higher in most areas compared to lots of other health systems in the U.S., and that's in a much more challenging environment with high unemployment and low formal educational achievement, transition from villages to urban settings, and that sort of thing. We believe very strongly that the issues of pride, honor, dignity, self-worth are extremely important. In fact, there's a good body of research that shows that the amount of self-confidence a person has directly correlates to their overall health status, especially if you take it to kind of a population level. We want people to feel pride. This is an Alaska Native place. I'm an Alaska Native person. These are my people. This is my organization. My people run it. They own it. They design it. And look at what we've done. Isn't this wonderful? And so the sense of pride, I'm worthy to come here. My people are worthy of this kind of care, and this kind of a facility becomes an important part of the journey. So when you come in, there's large open spaces, lots of natural light, textures that are sort of native to Alaska, and a sense of a high-quality place but a comfortable place, lots of open spaces, community gathering spaces. In our lobbies, there's usually Alaska Native people selling handcrafts, things they've made. So right when you walk in the door, it feels not like a business. It doesn't feel stuffy like a office building. It doesn't feel institutional like a government hospital or anything like that, but rather a welcoming, live, vibrant, active community space. We spend a lot of time remediating people when they come to us. So we put a huge amount of effort into workforce development, training, reskilling, retraining. We've created mentor systems so that physicians now have mentors, nurses have mentors. And it's all so that we can reshape people when they come to us pretty much, because most people are trained in classic medical models, assembly line, diagnose, prescribe, move them through kind of thing, and that's not. We want almost the opposite of that. We put every single one of our 1,400 employees through this thing that we call Core Concepts. And it's a 3-day training. It's led and taught by our CEO and one of our VPs every single time. So it's consistent. It represents a commitment of the very highest powerful people in our system. It's 3 days, and basically the whole focus of those 3 days is healthy communications, healthy team, healthy problem-solving skills, and probably most importantly, the ability to give and receive story in a deeply personal and meaningful way that's appropriate to a professional setting. So we want people who are into relationship, messy human relationships, partnering with people over time, working at motivational and behavioral change sorts of things, and that kind of an approach. So a lot of what we're doing is helping people connect back to the reasons they went into primary care, the sort of idealistic person they were when they started, before they got a lot of that drummed out of them. We want to recapture a lot of that stuff because we value it, we build it right into the system rather than the crank them through kind of stuff.